will feel a certain way, but still isn't something yet.
I can't. It sounds like the Tide Stain Stick commercial.
Yourself.
Well, you know, an organized person, somebody who does not tells all.
He's not the one.
I'm actually very, very good with group. I've surpassed all my goals, my prior job, and your competitor. My personality and me have surpassed their own goals.
Oh my god. See, this is why, oh my god. This is why when I'm sick in the head and I'm demented, because when people insult me, it is always projection. And it's funny to watch it be pure projection. Tectone, for example, saying I'm the worst person on the platform because, and I quote, I don't respond to any criticism. You can't make this shit up. Like, you can't make this shit up, man. Like, you literally can't make this shit up. XQC calling me insufferable. It's just, it's like, it's poetic. It's so, oh my God, it's beautiful. It's so beautiful. And it's always protection. Oh, dude. Anyways, the really sad thing, I will admit, my personal flaw is that XQC's stream is really funny. It's the same way that I feel about Ethan Klein. Ethan Klein's stream is really funny. It's just that they're not intentionally trying to be funny. It's that they say so much stupid shit all the time that's accidentally really funny. Are you sure that he called you insufferable, or did he say indecipherable mumbling? Oh, God. But this post from their community. Dear XQC, you grew an audience not because of your sound takes and because you are insightful. It's the 180 opposite. People watch you because you're a modern day clown that says and does dumb shit. Remind yourself that each time you want to have a serious public take. Oh my God. Oh my God. That's so beautiful. And then, I know what you guys are thinking, well, what is this XQC tweet? I got you guys, all right? I got you guys. It's this amazing interaction that he had with some person on Twitter. I don't know this person, but oh, did I not save it? Damn. Well, it was a beautiful interaction where Hassan said, it's funny to me to imagine that you wouldn't be in the minds if such a scheme were to be implemented. Mighty Keith replies, I find it wild that he says horrible things like this about a parent's mentally disabled child, but when people bring up his dead mom, he cries on YouTube about how the world is being mean to him. I don't get it, LOL. XQC responds saying he isn't referring to mentally disabled children, but actually depicting unintelligent ones. For most people, his opinion about the topic doesn't warrant an ad hominem about his dead relative. I hope this offers some guidance on that topic. He specifically said R-worded children, which by definition are mentally disabled kids. You're putting your own interpretation on it. I'm using reality. Saying the ad hominem on Asmon is bad, but the ad hominem on parents who have disabled kids is okay is hypocritical. Putting actually mentally disabled children in a coal mine would, I assume, endanger them. Even Asmon knows this. You are misreading obvious dialogue cues for public approval. This one, like, I don't know how you respond to this, dude. So don't interpret his actual words that he's using as what he means and assume he means something else. You're an idiot. Assume I mean that however you want. Which, like, I get the point that XQC is trying to make. He's trying to say, like, well, obviously when he's saying R-word in this context, he's meaning the kids who are really stupid. Not the kids who are literally mentally disabled, but the kids who clearly offer no value to society, which is already on its face again. I disagree with the premise. Your value to society cannot be determined when you are a child. It cannot be. There is so much that you can do for a child from like ages fucking, I don't know, from the moment they're born up until like 18 that can drastically alter their life. This idea that like, oh, well, you're doing badly in middle school, time to go to the coal mines is actually insane. It's actually insane. Because you have no way of knowing that like the kids who perform at the best level are actually going to do anything with their lives. Gifted students, looking at you. And you have no way of knowing that the people who are getting like D's in classes won't eventually end up being like engineers or won't eventually be like work in a trade job that provides real value to society. Like, I'm sorry, someone needs to fucking set up the electric poles that we use, right? Someone needs to maintain that shit. What, so you got C's in class, and because of your C's, you're in the mines? Even though your life, like, what? It's so ridiculous. It's just unbelievably ridiculous. Huh? I was a shitter at school, and now I'm an engineer? That's what I mean! My friend's mom came home from a Matt Rife show and raving about saying the R word, not N-word. Jesus, that would be insane. Despite the fact that people like me, a parent with a disabled child, see this, yeah, his mom can roll in a piss pit. Listen, I'm legally not allowed to comment on Asmongold's mom, so I won't. Because he just wants to use it as an opportunity to clip anyone, so I'm not going to. I disavow.
If XQC was exposed to coal dust,
I condemn.
he would immediately asphyxiate.
I condemn. I condemn Hamas. I condemn insulting Asmongold's mom. I condemn it. I disavow. No, no, no. I will not be so easily clipped again. Nice try. Nice try. Anyways, yeah. I think this speaks for itself, though. Like, when Asmongold says something, you need to make sure you understand his meaning in all of his words. But if somebody else says something, you can misinterpret it however you like. And then, literally within, like, a few days, within a few hours, okay? This exact thing happened.
Wait, so let's
the Doc Martens one, and these are the only.
those are literally the collabo Rick Owens?
Yeah. They're sick though. They're super comfy and also relatively affordable. They're like $300.
Wait, so let's back up. You grew up in Turkey?
Yeah.
What's like the vibe there?
Chill.
You think?
I think. Yeah.
I was in an econ class in college, freshman year, like 8 a.m. class, and there was like a crew of internationals, and they all
relatively affordable, $300 out of touch. I hate this conversation because for a boot that you can wear forever, $300 is perfectly permissible as a price point. Stop fucking doing this bullshit. Stop doing this fucking bullshit.
Again, I need to highlight the distinction between how these people talk about Asmongold saying R-worded and then people having to clarify for him and be like, obviously when he said that, that's what he means. And it's unfair for you to take his words out of context. And it's unfair for you to not be charitable with him at all. And it's unfair for you to not recognize that maybe he had a reason for saying these things in the way that he said them. And you should be more honest. And then when Hassan says $300 boots are these $300 boots. Honestly, they're relatively affordable. Relatively also is doing so much work here because $300 boots, if you're poor, that's something that you would have to save up for. As someone who has had to save up for boots, $300 on a pair of boots, if they leave you, what the fuck was I trying to say? If they will last you years, $300 for a pair of boots is a good fucking value. If they're high quality boots. And I have bought boots. I've saved up for a couple months to buy. I've been in the trenches of poverty where I've saved up for a couple months to buy a nice pair of boots. Because guess what? Being poor is expensive, and buying a bunch of shit boots over and over and over again that break within like one winter, it's not sustainable. They also suck. They're like not comfortable to wear. So like for a pair of boots, again, in terms of a product that will last you, in some instances, a decade, I've had boots that have lasted me a decade. $300 is like a steal for a good pair of boots that will last you a decade. I can't speak on Doc Martens because I feel like my experience with Doc Martens has always been bad. I don't know, maybe they like my foot's too fucking weirdly shaped or something. I don't know. But I don't think, but like again, be very charitable, as much as charitable as you can to someone like Asmongold when he's literally using the R word, which we know is explicitly used to describe mentally disabled children. When Hassan says something about fucking $300 pair of boots being a pretty good value, being honestly relatively affordable, there's no leniency. There's no like, oh, okay, maybe he's saying that it's worth saving up for these type of boots. That even if you aren't wealthy, this is a pretty good deal for a pair of boots that will last you for a really long time, which I will agree. I don't think that like $300 boots are like something you can just, if you're poor, I don't think you can just go to the store and buy a $300 pair of boots. I don't think that that's something that's feasible for you. I mean, dude, as someone who's been in the position where I've had like a $300 fee, like a $300 emergency, and had to pay that and been like, I have no idea how to pay for this. Well, time to figure this out. Okay. I had to buy tires once years ago, was broke for a month. Yeah. Literally the situation I'm in right now. Yeah. But again, as someone who values quality, when I was at the point where, again, literally a $300 emergency it ruined my financials for like 2 months. I was able to save up pennies here and there, dollars here and there to be like, I want to be able to buy myself a nice jacket, a nice pair of shoes. Because if you buy a nice thing once, again, this goes back to the entire conversation about how being poor is expensive. If you buy a nice pair of something once, you don't ever have to buy it again for a long time. When you buy something that's quality, you don't have to buy it over and over and over again, right? Sam Vimes' theory of socioeconomic unfairness, often called the simply the boots theory, is the economic theory that people in poverty have to buy cheap and subpar products that need to be replaced repeatedly, proving more expensive in the long run than more expensive items. Yep. I think nowadays there's not really such a thing as proper quality product. No, there absolutely are still quality products. 100%. Anyways, let's finish this clip.
In the chat where you're like, dude, I'm not actually signing off from my mommy's Connecticut McMansion. I'm actually literally living in a fucking pile of trash right now. How dare you say that? How dare you demonstrate bourgeois decadence? Okay.
And then, as you guys might imagine, Ethan Klein, being the big Hassan fanboy that he is, watching all of his streams. What about $1,000 Gucci shirt or a $200,000 Porsche? Man, I feel bad for Hassan's audience. How can you watch this and think he's a socialist hero and not the literal bourgeoisie oppressor you obsess over? When did he say $1,000 shirt is affordable? When did he say that a $200,000 Porsche is relatively affordable? Can you find me the clip of him saying that? Oh, God.
Okay, shut the fuck up. You know exactly what I meant there. You can cry about it all day, every day. They're literally Rick Owens boots. Rick Owens boots are normally $2,000 a pop. This is a $300 boot. Aren't boots literally the example of that one fallacy thing?
I mean, yeah. It's funny that the clip ends there. God forbid there would be an additional minute that would show him talking about it. I don't know if he actually talked about it or not, but yeah. Again, the word relatively is like, it's the thing that's doing the work there, right? It's not that the majority of people can just swipe immediately on that. It's not that the majority of people will buy that and not feel it. It's that it is feasible for most Americans that they could buy a $300 pair of shoes. Not for all Americans, especially not for Americans that are living under the poverty line. Of course not. But if you have an apartment, if you have a 401k, if you have a job, you could feasibly save up for those over a couple months and be like, yeah, I really honestly should get myself a nice pair of boots that will last me a lifetime. Also, yeah, the bourgeoisie comment is so stupid because it's so funny. Is he doing anything to keep people oppressed? Who cares how he's spending his money? He's not exploiting people for money, is he? Well, people would argue that, like, the boots were made with exploitation, so he is exploiting people without understanding that you're saying he's not using his money and he's not using his wealth to actively participate or encourage the systems, like through lobbying, to make sure that exploitation exists, right? It's the same thing with the Pokey tweet or the Pokey clip that came out a week ago or whatever. Was it in like poor phrasing? Yeah. And like, unfortunately, when you're a streamer, you're just like not allowed to talk about money. You're just like, literally, you're not allowed to talk about money or wealth or poverty or any of those things. Even when you're on people's side, you're not allowed to. Because there's always going to be a subset of people that get really upset about it. But it's like, I'm sorry, is Pokimane dedicating millions of dollars lobbying for the fucking coal industry? Is she dedicating tens of millions of dollars to make sure fucking Elon gets to gut our systems even more and make sure veterans get fired? She's talking about the difference between wealth that lets you do literally whatever you want, which Pokey, she is 1%. She can do whatever she wants. She can vacation whenever she wants. She can take as much time off as she wants. She has the money to retire herself, her parents, her family members, buy as many houses. Well, not as many, but she has wealth, absurd wealth. She also is talking about people who have their wealth that use it to keep the powers in play that allow workers to get exploited. We're talking about the distinction between people who are mega wealthy, which she is, but also wealthy enough that they can be Bezos and lobby the fuck out of Congress, lobby the fuck out of Trump and say, listen, the Amazon workers, they're like trying to strike. Isn't that so bad? Could you look into like, I don't know, anti-unionization legal system? Could you look at like OSHA violations? Maybe like take down a couple of those. We just don't need all these OSHA violations. All the red tape, am I right? Yeah, I just don't want to like pay people severance because they got injured on the job. And I just want to be able to fire them. Like, I'm sorry, is Pokey dedicating tens of millions of dollars to get OSHA undone, to undo EPA regulations? That's what she's fucking talking about. And you have to be a fucking dumbass to see her talk about that and then be like, obviously, she's saying that she's poor. Obviously. And again, I feel like this is the opportunity to juxtapose this with like this shit where you always are supposed to read into the meaning, which I agree with on principle. I think you should read into the meaning of what people are trying to say, but you're always trying to read into the meaning of what right-wingers are going to say. Excuse me. enlightened centrist. But you never have to do it for the opposition. Ever. Also, Pokey would be for taxing herself more. Yeah, it's just stupid. Anyways, wait, does Asmon really not believe that he's in the bottom 5 to 10% intelligence? You know, who knows what Asmon thinks? Okay? Who knows? This is the highlight of my year, if anyone cares. I was responsible for this video getting taken, just so you guys know. Just so you guys know. I'm expecting royalties. I'm expecting my 50 cents in Twitter revenue. Oh, God. Oh, man. Anissa and Ian are living their best lives winning the I Don't Give a Fuck award. No, it's okay. Ethan Klein just needs to keep talking about the swastika boy Hassan, and then eventually Ian and Ian and Anissa will respond, right? Any minute now. Just respond to me. Just respond. Why does nobody care? Why? Oh, my God, dude. Fucking Christ. All right. Also, dude, this caption is fucked up. H3 show didn't do so well in views today, so Ethan Klein has to take to IG stories to continue the year-long crash out. Doing the timeless socialism is when no car thing. Love to see him staying small. Oh. Sorry to go back for a second, but all my enemies will fail. Either illness will befall them, their view counts will go down, other bad things will happen, they will step on Legos, get divorced, etc. This is, I think, the funniest thing that's happened in the past 3 months. After he did really poorly in his most recent stream, he immediately had to go crash out about the $1,000 Gucci shirt. Immediately after his podcast ended. They finally did a stream that wasn't about drama. Finally. They did a fun stream. 230,000 views. Oh, God. I made this for you. Make a reel about Hassan. I've been clipping out of context for 27 hours. Let me sleep. Hassan is sleeping right now, too. Imagine sleeping while there's a genocide going on. Just more proof that I'm the only pro-Palestine voice there is. More like he hemorrhaged his audience. Is Normie on? I literally said this from day one. You cannot allow the freaks to infiltrate your audience because they will take over. They are a plague. They will overtake your current audience that actually likes watching you and encourage you and be like, come on, you got to do drama one more time. Come on, these people are coming after you. Look at all these clips that are meant to make you go insane. Can you believe this? Come on, keep looking. Come on, can you believe this? Please react to this. And you just like have an entire Discord community of insane people, an entire subreddit community of insane people. You have so many insane people. Just Nazi bar. I'll pull up. I know all of you have seen the Nazi bar tweet, but where is it? Here it is. I was at a shitty crust punk bar once after getting an after work beer, one of those shitholes where the bartenders clearly hate you. So the bartender and I were ignoring one another when someone sits next to me and immediately goes, and he immediately goes, no, get out. The dude next to me says, I'm not doing anything. I'm paying customer. Bartender reaches under the counter for a bat or something and says, out now. Dude leaves, kind of yelling. He was dressed in like a punk uniform, I noticed. Anyway, I asked what that was about, and the bartender said, you didn't see his vest, but it was all Nazi shit, iron crosses and stuff. You get to recognize him. I was like, oh, okay. And he continues. You have to nip it in the bud immediately. These guys come in, and it's always a nice, polite one, and you serve them because you don't want to cause a scene. And then they become a regular, and after a while, they bring a friend, and that dude's cool too, and they bring friends, and the friends bring friends, and then they stop being cool, and you realize, oh shit, this is a Nazi bar now, and it's too late because they're entrenched, and if you try and kick them out, they cause a problem. So you have to shut them down. I was like, oh damn. And he said, yeah, you have to ignore their reasonable arguments because their end goal is to be terrible, awful people. Then he went back to ignoring me, but I haven't forgotten about that at all. I've said this since day one. The second that Ethan Klein teamed up with Epstein's community to get me and Frogan, and they tried to get Hassan banned. The second that he teamed up on that they were trying to reach out to advertisers, they were trying to reach out to representatives, they were trying to reach out to anyone at all that would give them the attention. The second that happened, he became fucked. And people warned about it. People were like, dude, you don't want this community. You don't. Like, these people thrive on drama. They thrive on making your life hell for their entertainment. You will become their lolcow. And guess what? You go to Ethan Klein's subreddit, there is nothing fun in there. There's no joy. There's no funny memes that are just lighthearted. Every single thing in there is mean-spirited. Every single thing in there is meant to make Ethan Klein go more and more insane and to fuel his paranoia that everyone's coming after him, that everyone's uniquely evil. Every single person that has ever disagreed with you is uniquely evil and is trying to terrorize you and trying to ruin your life. And then you become insane. And all the normal people that are in his community are like, what? I'm sorry. You went on Bumble, saw Noah Samson, screenshotted it to share with everyone else, and swiped is right that you want to date them or is left that you want to date them. Swiped in the direction that you want to go out on a date with them. So you can ambush him and ask about what his ex said? Holy shit. You're fucking crazy. I don't want to be in this community. Jesus Christ. And also, even if you're not someone who cares about how insane the community is, at a certain point, it gets fucking boring. It's just the same fucking stupid arguments over and over and over again about how everyone's attacking you. And like, nobody wants to watch a person on the internet just cry about their life and how hard their life is. Nobody wants to do that. People want to have fun. They don't go on the internet to fucking suffer. Most people want to go on the internet to have fun. And Hassan warned him about it. A lot of other people warned him about it. I'm sure his friends and family warned him about it. I'm sure his rent-a-friends told him about it. And he didn't want to listen. Because like the temporary benefit, it feels so good to see all these people rally on your side and tell you that your cause is just. And the dopamine is just so strong that you get like lost in like the sauce. And then you turn around after your fucking 3-month delusion and you realize, wait, where are all my normie audience? Where are my old viewers? All of Snark told them about it and then he tried to sue them for it. Yeah. As a former fan, this is 100% correct. I posted in there a ton of times warning about D and his community infiltrating and they didn't listen. Their Reddit used to be fun. It used to be a ton of memes and songs made by the fan and now it's all Hassan hate stuff. Like I'm telling you, dude, like the sex pest community members, they are like roaches, okay? If you find one, you need to go get the fucking roach spray immediately. You need to fumigate that bitch out immediately. Because where there's one, hundreds more exist and will join. And if you let them propagate, they will create millions in your walls. You can't, dude. Maya, he didn't like this. Sorry. Not all roaches, okay? Sorry. That's cruel to roaches. You're off base saying people don't go on the internet to suffer. Listen. Some people go on the internet to suffer, but I would say most of Ethan Klein's old community didn't go on the internet to suffer. They went on the internet to have fun.